Well, it's a beautiful morning. Wanted to talk to some of y'all about what might be holding you back in life. What might be keeping you from achieving your goals in life, keeping you from your dreams. You know, when you think about it, when you see all the movies about the heroes, the books that are written about the heroes, the books that are written about the people that go against the grain, you think they had any critics in their lifetime? You think they had people telling them like, you're crazy, you can't do that? Anytime you're different, you're not going along with the crowd, you're not a follower, you do something that's just out on the edge and not considered normal, not like everybody else, you're gonna have a lot of critics that'll be very critical of you. And it can be discouraging if you let it. Some of the best advice I ever heard one time was, whatever you're planning on doing, if you have a big idea, something you want to try, something you want to get into, something you want to do, don't tell anybody, just do it. They'll find out when they see what you're up to, because you wouldn't believe how many people are talked out of pursuing something that they're passionate about. When you look at the people that have been successful or had some success, do you think that they made any mistakes? Do you think that they had any failures? Well, the answer is absolutely and 100%. Honestly, the people that are the biggest success stories probably failed more times than any loser. Think about that for a minute, because in order to be successful means you can't give up. I think it was Nikola Tesla that said one time, when he was doing all of his experiments and his testing and following real science of questioning everything and using the scientific method, that no, he hasn't figured it out yet, but he knows 1,000 ways that it doesn't work. And even though those are failures, they're wins. They're wins because you learn something from it each time. So there's just a difference between people. Some are too scared to get off the porch. Some will get out there and work and understand that, you know what, it's going to be hard. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail, but you're going to learn along the way, and that's what's going to mold you into the person that you're destined to become. But you have to be willing to put yourself out there, and that's what holds a lot of people back, because they're scared of what others might say, of what others might think of them. And hey, I'm here to tell you, as I've gotten older, there's a deer running across there, I could really care less what people think, what people say. Look at what man does in this world. They tell you, oh, it's this, it's that, and then later come to find out, oh, well, this drug wasn't everything we thought it was. Now, you might be having seizures. You might be having bad headaches, migraines. You might have died. If you experienced any of these side effects, because we followed the science and we came up with it, and it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you died from this, come see us. We'll give you a check. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you're putting your faith in man, you're going to be let down. There's only one in the universe that you should be putting your faith in, and it's not a man or a woman. I don't care if it's your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your kids. People will let you down in this life. We're human. There's only one that will never let you down, that will never leave you or forsake you, and that's our Lord. And if you're trusting in Him and allowing Him to lead and direct your paths, He knows what you're good at. He created you. He knows what you're destined for, what you're capable of, and He will lead you in the right direction and give you peace and joy, and fulfill your life. You know, people wander to the clubs when they're young. They look for hope in a bottle or a drug or sex, and all of those things are lies straight from hell. You can go have a drink to ease your sorrows, and that turns into something that you did on the weekend to now you're doing it, a few times a week, and before you know it, you're having a drink as soon as you wake up in the morning, because that's what takes you away from your reality. Well, create your own reality. Follow your dreams. Don't take no for an answer. When you fall down, get back up. So the way to achieve your goals is to do something every single day that is working toward that goal. I don't care if it's writing down notes on a piece of paper and that's all you did that day, but you did something. So every day you're thinking about it. Every day you're trying to better yourself. Every day you're doing something that's going to get you towards achieving that goal. And as you do that, day after day, week after week, month after month, you are literally manifesting your reality. When you fall down, you get back up. You don't accept failure. Life is just too short, and we're not promised tomorrow. I've lost people that I was close to in this life, and it really opens your eyes to things like you just don't know what could happen today. And here's the thing, it's what I try to tell young folks a lot. Time is going to go by, whether you're doing something constructive or whether you're playing video games or just scrolling on Instagram all day, TikTok. Everything has its place, but too much of anything is a bad thing. Work towards something that's going to give you a life that you don't need to escape from. Work towards something that you might be able to pass down to your kids one day. Have a life worth living, Don't listen to all the naysayers. This world is full of critics. That's all you hear every day. If you turn the news on, the whole news, that's all it's around is, what does this person have to say about what he's doing? What does this person have to say about what she's doing? So here's the big thing. You have people that are doers. You have people out in this world that are doing things. They're not scared to get off the porch. They're going out here and doing things and make a difference. Are they right 100% of the time? No, absolutely not. Do they make mistakes? Of course they do, Smoke. They do, don't they? And then you got all these people sitting around talking about it. They're making a living out of being critical of the people that are getting out here and working and trying to do something and trying to make a difference. And that's pretty sad. Instead of following the crowd and just being critical of people that are out there trying to do something, trying to make a difference, if you don't like the way something's being handled, you should go out there and do it the way you think it should be done. If you're convicted about the way something should be handled, the way something should be done, there's probably other people that think like you. Go out there and do it. They're not going to write a book about you critiquing someone about the way they did things. Chances are they're going to write a movie or a history book about the person that was out there doing these things that everybody's talking about. So that's just something to think about. Life is just too short. The days are going to go by, the weeks are going to go by, the years are going to go by. And then you're either going to be a person that has a life that, man, I need a drink. Man, I need to smoke a joint. A good analogy I like to use is building a house. You don't just show up one day and you have this big, beautiful house. It takes a lot of work to get to it. But once you have that beautiful home, you sit and you look, you're like, wow, we built this. What a beautiful place, and it's worth having, right? It's worth it. It's worth the work that you put in to get to that point. The same thing is true with life. It's worth it to put in the work. It's worth it to experience the failures because you're going to learn from them. So you're going to do something every day to get to the point where you're starting to achieve your dreams. You're starting to realize your goals in life, and that comes by doing something every day to go toward those goals. Just like building a house, you show up every day to do something, whether it's running all the wiring for the electric, running all the conduit for the plumbing, installing the windows. When you start from the very beginning and you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this. What a daunting task. You can't look at it like that. You can't look at it like, oh, it's going to take me 4 years of school, or it's going to take me 18 months of going to this trade school, or I'm just going to have to learn indefinitely. I'm going to have to, for the rest of my life, continue to learn in order to stay sharp, in order to keep an edge. When you look at it like that, it's very overwhelming. So what I've learned, and the best advice that I can give, is take one step at a time, one day at a time. Go do a little bit of research, take some notes, talk to this person, go get some experience here. You're already starting to build some experience, and the time's going to go by whether you're doing something to go towards your goals or you're not. Those 3 years are still going to go by. That 18 months is still going to go by. What do you have to show for it? What have you accomplished? Can you look back and say, you know what? I was a good steward of my time. I have this experience now, and I've realized, yes, that's the path that I want to go. Or, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. But the sooner you jump in there, the sooner you start experiencing things, the sooner you start gaining experience, the closer you are. Each day, each step gets you closer to realizing those goals. So that's my encouragement to you, is don't get caught up in what all the naysayers say. You know, over the years when I went back home around the people that I grew up with, I would get a lot of comments because they're still doing the same things they were doing when we were in high school. They're still worrying about partying, drinking, drugging, running around, getting in trouble, and guess what? They still live with mama. That's not for me. Maybe that's for you. You know, realizing your goals and doing something in life, I guess, isn't for everyone. But like, don't let them keep you down. Don't let them pressure you into staying in that type of scenario, into, you know, living that kind of life, because maybe they're not capable of more, but you are. So it's okay to love them, you know. But like I had them say to me, like, you think you're too good to come around here. No, I'm not too good at all, but I've lived that life, and that has nothing for me. That's not exciting for me. What's that going to get you? Nothing. That's nothing to be proud of. So you can sit back and say, Oh man, let's write a book about my life. I got drunk 8,000 times. Wow. I sat on the couch all day long. Dude, I was so geeked. Man, remember that time we were so geeked? We sat on the couch. Remember that time we smoked that? We were just stuck. Just stuck there. All, man, I'm stuck. You high? Yeah, I'm high. Man, I'm stuck. Remember that time? Man, nobody cares. Get out there and do something with your life. That's something to be proud of. That's something you can tell your grandkids about. You know, who knows what you get involved in. Maybe you'll be one of the ones out here making a difference. Maybe you'll be one of the ones they write a book about. And I'd love to read it. You know, I'm struggling through this life myself. I'm no better than anybody. I got to get up every day and do something toward my goals. When I was younger, I was always scared, like, well, what if I do this? Well, what if I fail? I'll look stupid. Guess what? Anybody that's trying to be successful looks stupid from time to time. Anybody that's starting a new business, they look stupid at some point because they made a mistake. But guess what allows them to get to that point of being an expert? A lot of mistakes, learning from those mistakes. Winners have failed more time than losers because losers fail and they give up. Winners fail and they don't give up. They get up the next morning and do it again. They might fail again. They might fail 1,000,000 times before they're finally successful. But you know, I'm struggling through this life just like everybody else. But I've never cowered to the naysayers. I had people tell me, you can't do that. You'll never be able to do that. I remember when I was in the military, was ready to get out, ready to go do something else. People were like, man, you're gonna get out? What are you gonna do? What? Man, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. You can be scared. You can do whatever they tell you to do. That's fine. Have fun. I'm not scared. I'm going to live my life to the fullest, you know, that I feel like I should be living it to. What's good for me is not good for you. What's good for you might not be good for me. So don't get caught up in what everybody else says. Follow your hopes and dreams. But those are just a few of my thoughts. I hope it's helpful to somebody, especially one to kind of get some inspiration out there to some of the younger people that are maybe concerned and have these type of fears and wondering like, how will I ever be successful? How will I ever learn what to do with my life? The only way to learn is to get out there and get started. Start making some mistakes. That's what life's all about. You're going to look back one day and those are the stories you're going to be telling. Remember that time I made this mistake? And everybody laughs about it. You know, it's fun. Get out there and make some mistakes. But hopefully this video is helpful to someone. If you're going through a hard time or struggling, I'd like to pray for you. So send me a message and I'll keep you in my prayers. And if there's anything I can do to help, I've been through hard times. I have been homeless at one point in my life. I was a drug addict. I was alcoholic. I lost my family, lost everything. I was, you know, waking up passed out in ditches on the side of busy highways in Louisville. You know, I was an addict for 10 years. I have experienced the lowest of lows. I didn't want to live anymore. But life doesn't have to be that way. Praise God. I found the Lord. I found something better. But if you're struggling today with anything like that, I would love to try to extend a helping hand and give you some words of encouragement. And I'd definitely love to pray for you. So have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.